Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by a fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Machedo is the best.
Then I asked him what about the disaster that is taking place, you know, the hurricanes and the typhoon and all that. Did it affect the people, the employees? Here he surprised me. He just said that whenever there's a disaster, let's say the whole roads are destroyed, the infrastructure is destroyed, they manage to repair this within, he said they do it within a few days or weeks. So I was like, oh, okay. He's saying they're very particular that the infrastructure should be proper. I forgot to ask him about hospitals and all that. I just remembered now, hospitals and education. Maybe I'll make another video with regards to how are the hospitals, how is the education. Okay, now the next part that he also told me this, that you know, the highly educated ones, the ones that I've been speaking to, they don't tend to stick around for too long. It's very hard to retain them. It's very hard to put pressure on them. It's very hard to this thing. So, and another thing about employees, he said to get skilled employees, even expat or otherwise. He's saying one of the hardest things. My finger, no? It's slightly hurt. Anyway, it's the hardest thing ever. So he said, like he was speaking, obviously I don't want to reveal his line of work, but he was telling me that he was searching for a technical guy. He's saying he searched the whole of Oman. He put ads for days and weeks and months. He said there's only one guy, and the skill that he was talking is not like a nuclear scientist. It's not something that is like way out of the world, is like shocking, is like wow. Simple basic technical task. He said I'm not able to get anybody. And so I was like, oh shit, that's really bad. So this was a part of employees and working. Now the next part that I want to speak to you about is this is setting up a business and the perks and benefits of having a business. Now this is what he told me. Before, when Sultan Qaboos was there setting up a business, well, you could manage. Omanis who had a business, well, it seems like I told you in my previous video, they can have 4 companies by default or something, and I don't exactly remember. You can check my previous video, because this is what the Omani guy who had a business told me. So it was relatively easy. For expats, obviously a little tough and a little more expensive. But now what he told me is, after the father died, they made it so expensive that it doesn't make sense. So I said, give me numbers in terms of money. This is what he told me. The renewal fees for a visa for an expat was 300 riyal. 300 riyal is roughly 3,000 dirhams, or let's say $1,000. Okay, roughly it might be 900 or 800, whatever. Now it seems the same visa renewal from 300 riyals is 2,000 riyals. Let that sink into your head. Before it was 300, so it's not 600 double, it's not 900 3 times, it's not 1,200, it's not 1,500, it's not 1,800. Can you multiply that? 6 3s are 7 times, almost 7 times more. He's saying, man, if I had 10 employees, before I'm paying 3,000 riyals, now I'll be paying 20,000 riyals. He's saying it's not worth it, man. It's kind of crazy. And because of this, he's not able to get any staff. He's not able to retain. In fact, retaining staff itself, he's saying, is such a pain. He's saying, I don't know what to do. And that is why now most of them are working bare bones minimum staff, whereby if one person can do 2-3 tasks, they're keeping him. Now, what he said is the small and medium businesses, okay, which are owned by Omani, they still get the same old benefits. But here I'd only like to differentiate and say that that other Omani guy, the citizen, what he said is the quality of service before for Omanis was much better. He's saying now they don't give a damn, they don't care, and they simply drag things on. In fact, that Omani citizen in my previous video, he said that there is a lot of favoritism between the ministers and the ruling family. So he's saying even though I'm an Omani citizen, I'm treated like shit. This is what the Omani guy said. One of the examples that he gave me was, he's saying, I think of, let's say all citizens are given a land. Now, you know, land is their right. So, for me, he said, if you're in UAE, you would understand this. He's saying the land I was given was, let's say, the land a VIP was given is somewhere in the Marina or Dubai in the main city or Jumeirah Beach residence. If you're in US, maybe it was Manhattan or, you know, Las Vegas or, you know, prime. But to the rest of the citizens who don't have contacts, connections, they'll give you in the middle of nowhere. He said, like, for example, think they gave you a piece of land in the middle of Nevada desert or near where there's no civilization for the next 5 kilometers. So this is what he said. Now, you can balance between both the arguments. So he said small to medium level enterprises, they get benefits from who are owned by Omani, they still get the old benefits. But if a new company, and they don't get any. But if it's a new investor or setting up a new business, he's saying then you get totally fucked because the bills, the expenses, the registration, all of it is sky high. Okay. Then I asked him about infrastructure and buildings and all that. He said in Oman all the buildings are short. All the buildings are small. He'll say you'll not see any building close to approximately 10 kilometers high. So I was like, oh, that sucks. It's all small buildings. He's saying you will not see any big buildings. Then I asked him about lifestyle. Lifestyle, what he told me is Oman is very peaceful. It's very laid back. It's for people who want to save money, people who don't want to spend money. He's saying every day, he's saying every month, after I get the money, I don't know where to spend. There's nothing to spend in Oman. So what we do is we save the money and then we go for good holidays. Saying there's a lot of Omani Riyal to spend. I think that is why many countries, they welcome Omani tourists. And, you know, in my experience, I've always had good experience from tourists, Omani people. So maybe I'm a bit biased over there. Worst behaved is Jesus.
Hello there, it's me, Jesus Christ, speaking to you from heaven. All right, you? Yeah, you, my friend. Yeah, you. Look, you prayed to me every single day, and you told me like, I want a better paying job, and I want to like change my life, and I want to be happy. Well, look, here's your answer. Contact my buddy, Machedo, of Machedo.com, and he will do the needful. Well, okay. Maybe he looks like the devil, maybe a little scary, you know, the tattoos and slightly horrible, but like, trust me, like, okay, he looks terrible, right, but don't worry, he's a cool guy. So, what are you waiting for? Google him, Google his name, contact him. Yeah, and you'll see why I sent you. He's the real deal. And yes, my child, you'll find the answer. You know, this is the part where you stop staring at me and contact the guy. All right. Trust me. Go on now. I got other things to do around here, all right?